telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where is she? Where is she? She's telling me to come forward, come for me. See, I don't know why I finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, really, please. Cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth, just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up. So you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up for the reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up. So you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body, make a bend up for the reeling. Bad man, turn you over like a steering. But she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what.
That's killed it.
You ready?
That's killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system since Bubak left. You don't want to change from the 4-3.
Boom, what's going on, people? We're back again on the Jerry James Show. We've got another preview for you. We've got the Battle of the Bums. We've got 8th versus 9th, even though we probably aren't 8th or 9th. But we've got the mid-table rivalry, do you know what I mean? That's brewing this season. Liverpool versus Chelsea. Apologies for... is my internet lagging? Am I good? Can you guys hear me and everything?
Yeah, you'll come.
Maybe lagging a little bit, but nothing too crazy.
Because I don't know if I didn't know if I'm lagging. I didn't know if you guys are lagging. It was just acting up, but my computer's moving like a mess. So apologies. But big up to everyone in the building. Make sure we're smashing the like from the get go. Let's get the video up and running because we've got a lot to talk about, man. We've got predicted lineups. We've got score predictions. We've got op analysis and everything. So look, we're gonna get straight into it, man. We're gonna get straight into it. Let me just obviously check out the people in the chat. Make sure we're smashing the like. Make sure we're liking the show as well. Big up to yourselves. We got Romz saying smash the like from early. Big up to Romz. We got Statman Stubbs in the building. 1 second. This internet is shocking. Big up the legends. Have a great show. Big up to Statman. Hope you're doing well. We got Endsman in the building as well. We got Chelsea OG in the building. Big up to Chelsea OG saying hoping we show up at least. That's both of us, bro. That's both of us. Recency Bias Radio, big ups to JJ and the esteemed panel. Big up to Recency. Hope you're doing well. We got M-Time Mizzy in the building saying bless ups to Jerry and the gang, and of course to everyone and the chat. It's respect as always. Big up to yourself. We got KZ for days in the building saying, look, that lineup is crazy. Of course it is. We got James Doherty again. We got Ben. We got RJ in the building. We got Maxwell Milgo. Big up to yourself. We got John saying the sun's out. Big up, big up, big up. We got KLFC in the building. We got Revenite in the building. Exactly. Intro doesn't want JJ to start, bro. I don't know what the hell's going on with this internet at the moment. I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know if it's the computer. To be fair, I need a whole refresh of everything, bro. I need a whole refresh. So it is what it is, man. We got Beard Mame in the building as well. Big up to Beard Mame. That beard's brazy, by the way. I know G's targeting that beard, but I don't know if it will ever come.
I don't think it'll ever come. That's why I have to keep like just trimming it up. I'm like, you know what? It's long, bro. I'm not gonna wait another 10 years, bro. I'm good with that. You can't be growing it, and in between that stage, you're looking like a nitty. Like you can't be picking up your kids from school and they're looking at you like rah. No, they won't let me pick up the kids from school. That's the problem. That's another vulnerable child. You know, that's the one with the asterisk next to his name. Listen, I'm gonna have an escort anytime I go down to the school. Now I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I don't want none of that. None of that. The teachers start looking at you weary.
They start kneeling down before you pick up. They're kneeling down and talking to your kid. You don't even know what convo is being ran. It's just, do you know what I mean? That child line number's being slipped into the pocket.
If you ever need anything, just go into your bag. Don't worry, it's in there in your bag. It's there for you. Don't worry. What? Like, don't worry about what my child is doing.
Oh, maybe it's this thing, man. Maybe I need to change this background. I think the background's shaking me. Let me see. Is that better?
I mean, yeah, straight away.
Yeah, man. Fuck, bun that virtual background nonsense.
Obviously, he was trying to do the piano. He was going to play piano in that, guys. Obviously, before he was backstage and that, he was going to play the piano for us. But obviously, that was one of the things he was going to do on the show as like a thing for you guys. But obviously, Jerry, he's got kind of shook. I'm saying a bit scared of that. You want to play?
Yeah, Ram saying, big up to Ram in the building. Ram saying, look, G, you look more menacing without the cap. Raw, man saying, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I got the fresh trim. I said, you know what? No, I don't need a cap today, man. I'm all right, man. The sun's out, bro. Like, it's all hot in that in London. Don't know about anywhere else, boy.
For real. Facts. Yeah, but big up to everyone in the building. But look, let's just get straight into it. I know, obviously, the supposed predicted lineup has dropped, right? But before we drop that, and we've got about 15 minutes until the official lineup drops, we're going to go and just make our lineup. Because right now, at this point in time, obviously, Klopp, after the game, talking about there's essentially 2 or 3 players that kind of have kept their position, have kept their place in the team, but everyone else is at risk of losing their place. For him, this game was embarrassing. Shockingly, apparently, Liverpool we wouldn't have won with 11 men, let alone 10 men. Wouldn't have won with 10 men, let alone 11 men. He's saying that it could have been more, which is probably an honest assessment. But it's the first time we're seeing any real vim from the manager in terms of, no one's safe right now. And I think the pressure's starting to crank up on Klopp. He's discussing, talking about, I'm really only got the job because of what I've done in the past. He knows the credit in the bank ain't crediting anymore. The bank's saying, look, we're shut. He's used all the credit up and that's it. He's exceeded the credit limit. He's in the overdraft. And they're like, we want our money back now. And I think he's starting to feel the pressure. And look, it's not the bailiffs coming to his house yet, but it's the little notification on the app. You're into your overdraft. Please, do you know what I mean? Please make a transaction or input funds into account by 3 p.m.
I'll be real. The bailiffs have already knocked twice. I mean, if they knock a third time, they're coming in and they're taking.
This thing. Get out! Get out!
Listen. They've knocked on his door twice. He wasn't in. They said, all right, fuck it. We'll come back another time. But now, because they've been there twice now, third time, they're thinking, yo, we're not asking next time. We have got our own set of keys to just bowl in. So be careful. Like, be mindful. You ain't got long to pay this money, boy. And you got to pay in full. There's no like, oh, you know what? Can we set up a payment plan? Nah, brother. We need to pay
it's past that. It's past that.
Past that, bro.
Way past
You had your chance to blatantly do that as well, but you chose not to. That's deep.
I hear you. So what you're saying, look, can't pay, take it away settings.
Boy, can't pay, take it away. New episode of Jurgen Klopp, boy. Celebrity's gone wild, I'm telling you.
It's crazy, man. But cool, let's get into it, man. Quick one. All right, if we're Klopp, right, and going on the basis that he's saying, look, the team's washed, essentially saying the team's washed. I can't trust these, man. It's a breakup situation, right? He's decided to go and stay at his marges for a week or so. What are we saying in terms of formation now? Are we sticking the same? Is he going different? What are we doing? Because obviously it's quite interesting, this whole scenario, man. I've never heard Klopp speak like this.
It's about fucking time.
I don't even know. I think he'll stick with the full 3-3, but I think wholesale changes. He said there's 2-3 men that can keep their place, or that can be confident in keeping their place. For me, it's Kanate and Alisson. Other than that, everyone else is up for grabs, bro. Everyone else. I didn't see any performances against City, and to be honest, it's not even the City game. Like, I'm sure you, man, when you done the review yesterday, weren't going crazy about the City result, because we're used to seeing this. If we're getting touched by Brighton and Wolves, of course City are going to touch us as well. Like, it's not a surprise to us anymore. So it's at the point now. It's just a shame it's taken him 29 games to figure out that these men are washed. But it sounds like from what he's saying, the pennies dropped. So if I see certain man starting tonight after what he's been saying, then you know that he's really, really tapped. But right now, yeah, for me it's Kanate, Alisson, and then you take your pick with the rest. It's whether he's been doing well in training and that.
Fairs. G. So in terms of formation, are you agreeing with Ish then? Yeah, Klopp's not changing from the 4-3-3. He's not going to do a 3 at the back. He's not going to.
Nah, I don't think it will.
4-4-2 or anything. You think it's just a standard 4-3-3?
I think, yeah. I feel like it's going to be 4-3-3, but we're going to read it out as like a 4-2-3-1. I feel like that's what it will end up happening like that. It will have like, I don't know, whoever the two sit in, and then it will have maybe like potentially. Is Carvalho fit? If he's fit, then maybe like him in there as well, potentially. Him or a Jones, like one of those two kind of thing, like maybe just behind the striker kind of thing. I think Nunes will start, I believe so, unless he's injured again. I don't really know.
Cool.
But we can go 4-3-3 and see how we kind of work it.
Cool. So obviously going with what Ish saying, obviously Alisson keeps his place and Konate as well, obviously keeping his place. What are we saying in terms of, let's start right back. That's a really interesting conundrum because on the surface of it, Ish, like you'd obviously want to make a change, but there's no one really there to make a change.
Bro, I'll play Milner. I'll be honest, I'll play Milner. Bro, was it which goal was it? Was it the first goal on Saturday where Trent's just positionally? I can't explain what he's doing in it, and like the attacking output is not justifying what he's doing the other way now. It's not like he's still banging bare assists, still playing these amazing. Like, he's been washed. Go both ways this season. He's been washed. Milner can't. He's not going to be a great replacement, but he can't do any worse. He actually can't do any worse than what Trent's doing in it. And you know, with Milner, if he gets rinsed, he's at least gonna tackle the guy and take the guy out and take the yellow. Which at this point, I'd rather see that than just see Trent just running behind, jogging behind, letting guys just go past him and score. So yeah, let me see Milner in there.
Cool. G, are you in agreement, or is there someone else you want to put there? Maybe Gomez? I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably would Gomez because of the flanks that Chelsea may play, whether it's Mudryk, whether it's Madueke, whether it's, I don't know, it's Pulisic is even, whoever's on that side. I don't know if he's going to want Milner up against them, so to speak. I feel like he'd probably, maybe, it'll be between Gomez. I put Gomez in there if I had to choose between the two kind of thing. I think I would go Gomez. But Milner, I can see him blatantly playing right back. So if you want to put him in, I can see that. You know what I mean?
Obviously, there's 3 of us, so I guess I've got the deciding vote because you guys haven't decided. I'm gonna go Gomez, and the reason why I'd say that is because in midfield we haven't really got any options. Obviously, I wasn't aware that Naby Keita is out for the rest of the season, so he's not in contention. Melo hasn't played a game, and we don't really have any real depth in that. That's obviously the position that we're like worst in terms of personnel. So I'd probably go Gomez just because of that old reason. If we're going on the fact that there's certain players that just won't be obviously won't be starting in this game. So I'll probably go Gomez. That's a good shout. Where is he? Yeah, Mr. Mitoma.
Joseph.
Come back from his honeymoon yeah. But yeah, obviously left centre back, which we're going to have to move this around. Shaq. Cool. Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah. I think he's really the.
What going for Nat Phillips?
It's done, man. It's done.
You know, but you know what? You switch them around. I mean,
I think Konate playing on the left. Matip never plays on the left.
Okay, then yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, let's just make this a bit more realistic, man. Come on, man. Cool.
Man, trying to Gomez up, like say he's going to be up there doing anything. But
left back. What are we saying, Robbo? Yeah.
No. You crazy? What?
No, I think Simi has to come in now. If Klopp's talking like that, I'm basing this basically off of the fact that Klopp's talking about making changes, right? So I'm saying you got to play Simi. Obviously, it's going to be interesting what he actually does, but I think Simi.
Robbo is one of the first man that should have been told he's getting dropped. One of the first, that performance on Saturday.
All right, cool. So is it the Greek scouts? That brother
has to.
What's that Simicast? All right, cool. In the 6, in the DM, who we put in there? Cetic injured. Fabinho injured. Henderson.
Was he injured?
Was Fabinho injured?
No, not Fabinho injured. Sorry, Fabinho obviously washed. He had a wash. I'm not gonna lie. Before we came on, I watched Gary Neville and Carragher's analysis of the game. You know, Fabinho is a wild lad. I'm not gonna lie. No. He might have actually been the worst player on the pitch, and we didn't even deep it. He's the reason.
You know what, JJ?
He's part of the reason why Gundogan got on the ball to play that pass to Grealish for the first goal. I think, or for the second goal that they scored.
But you know what, JJ? I'm so used to this level from him from the season. Like, I when I see him, I'll be honest, yeah. When I see him put in 4 to 5 out of 10, I'm like, you know what? You done your thing today. I expect 1s and 2s from him now. That's what he's been doing all season. All season 1s and 2s, bro.
All right, so who are we playing in the DM then?
Might have to be a Hendo thing, man.
I was gonna go Milner, you know. I was gonna go Milner
in the 6.
I was gonna go Milner in the 6. In the 8, I'm not playing him there.
I feel like he's more likely to play in the 8 than he is in the 6, though. I don't see him really playing in. I feel like he'd play, left central midfield. I feel like that's going to be his position today.
I think
he's not going to play right back.
Klopp will more likely play Hendo in the 6 if he's not going to play Fab. I think
that's what I'm thinking.
For me, I think it's one of them two. And I'll be real, I don't rate Hendo in the slightest, but he is a bit better in the 6.
He's better than Fabinho.
I actually think he's gonna. I actually think, I would go with Henderson. I think he's going to play Fabinho instead of Henderson because you got to realize we've got a game on Sunday. Henderson cannot play 3 games in a row. That's not happening. So he's going to have to miss 1 game, and he ain't missing the Arsenal game at home. 100%. I can see that. As long as he stays injury free, he's in that game. I feel like he dropped Henderson for this game, play Fabinho. But I would go with Henderson in the 6 for this game.
I hear Fabo. For me, it's the toss up between. Yeah.
Hey, well, we forgot about Arthur though. Like, what gone? Like, what? We don't want to play Arthur now. Where does he even play?
Until I see him play, I will not include him in my predictions. Like, I can't predict something I haven't seen before, bro. I've seen man play 14 minutes all season, bro.
And even then, I didn't even know where he was playing.
I think he would play the 8. I think Fabinho will start in it. I think Fabinho will start in the 6. I think based on what you were saying about the game on Sunday against Arsenal, isn't it?
All right, so are you guys both saying Fabinho then? Because I think Henderson. So you guys say Fabinho, yeah?
Yeah, I say Fabinho.
I'll say Fabinho.
I actually think it will be Henderson people. So if we get it wrong, blame these guys.
Watch him play Curtis Jones in the 6, bro, and you're just going to be like, right. Yeah.
So you guys are saying Milner on the left, yeah? From what I heard.
I was saying, I don't know what issues about. I think he'll go Milner on that left-hand side. Like.
Yeah, Milner.
And who on the right then?
Elliot.
Jones, Ox, Melo.
I forget about Elliot. Ox, you know. I forget we even have this guy as a player, you know.
Thing is, what's mad is that he ain't played midfield for time, which is
exactly
that's where he came through 17-18, where everyone likes to say there's still a player in there and all of that. He was playing as an 8. He was playing as like the most advanced 8. I feel like since the injury, he's come back. Klopp's just put him left wing, right wing. I even seen him false 9 a couple of times. Like, for me, I'd play him in the 8, and I'd rather play Elliot on the right. But I feel like Klopp might do the opposite. He might play Elliot in the 8 and then play Ox on the right. But yeah, I think
they'll interchange. I think they'll interchange if they were to do that.
Bro, I like to see that kind of tactical flexibility, man. If Klopp's got that in his locker, I like to see that.
Do you know what it is? I think Klopp plays Ox. The reason why I'd say Ox, and I wouldn't have thought that, was in the game he was one of the subs, wasn't he?
The City game.
City game.
He came on.
He came on.
Jones came on with Bobby and.
Oh, he did come on. Yes.
Jones wasn't in the squad. Jones wasn't even in the squad.
Yeah, Jones wasn't even. That's my point. So Jones wasn't in the squad. Carvalho didn't make an appearance, so I can't see him coming in. Melo didn't come on. He was just there because of like worst case scenario type of thing.
Shaking hands.
I think it's going to be.
What's even a worst case scenario? Because I feel like he wouldn't even play in a worst case.
We've got no one in it. Like we've got no one. Like Henderson gets injured, Fabinho gets injured in the game, and it's just Milner's running that dead at like 60th minute. That type of thing. Like that's the what I see if we were to go and play. I think Ox plays. I think Ox plays just because of that. I would have played Jones, but I know Jones ain't getting a look. But I think Ox plays.
I wouldn't even play Jones. That's the maddest thing. I don't think I would even want to see that brother even play, man. I'm good with him.
Bro,
I don't want to see Ox though. But I don't want to see Ox. Why play a brother that's not going to be in
Jerry, I don't want to see Klopp, but guess who's going to be lining up in the dugout next to flipping the Chelsea interim manager? It's going to be Klopp, bro. We just got a man. I'm just used to it now. Like I feel I'm with you. I don't really want to see Ox, but if I had to pick between Ox and Jones, I feel like he'd have to go with some type of experience in there.
Ox,
like more like the experienced midfield.
Yeah,
but I don't even feel Ox is experienced though. Like
you know what I mean? Like if you have to pick between him and Jones, you know what I mean? Like just in terms of the experience of playing there.
Shooting outside the box, it's a big away game as well. I know we're both shit at the moment, but it's still a big away game. It could come down to like a shot from long range or something. I feel like Ox might have a bit more of an impact. Even saying that, I don't think much, but Jones could play 80 minutes and you won't even see, man.
Do we overrate this outside the box Ox? Like do we do like everyone?
He's got it in his locker still. He has got.
Compared to like, how many goals has this brother got from outside the box? I feel like it's probably like 3, like in his whole career, and I'm just like,
in that first season alone, he got 2 against City and maybe another couple.
Yeah, but remember we're talking about that's the third. That's like the third. But we've moved on so fast.
That's the only season. Sorry to cut you. That's the only season he played as that.
No, that's true.
He can't be doing outside the box shooting when man's got you hugging the touchline for no reason. Yeah. So if we saw him more than 8, I feel like he could do something, but he's gonna bounce in about 6 weeks anyway. So
quick one because you know obviously the lineups obviously just dropped now. A minute in, let's just try and run through it. So what are we saying? You guys are saying Ox, yeah, as well.
Yeah, I'll just go Ox.
Yeah, I'll go Ox still.
Cool.
Like the title says, Battle of the Bums,
and then up front, what are we saying, man?
I would have had Elliot on the right, but. Fair enough. He hasn't gone.
You guys both said Elliot, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with that. Up front, what are we saying? Salah.
Bobby,
yeah.
No. Salah's not even going to play, man. I think.
What not Gakpo? You don't think Gakpo maybe plays down the middle?
I think rest a minute. He's played a lot recently.
Yeah.
And then on the left, it must be Nunes, isn't it? Or is it Diaz? Does Diaz come in?
No. I don't even want to see that brother touch it for a minute.
Let man cook for the Arsenal game.
All right, people. Well, this is the team we've gone with. Obviously, we're going to have a marauding Joe Gomez up there. It's going to look something like this. We're going to have obviously Ox in the thing. It's going to be like that. Matip will be obviously here and it'll be Konate at the back by himself. So obviously that's our team, people. Yeah, proper solid. Real solid. But yeah, obviously we're going to get rid of that and we're going to get into the lineup that's just dropped. I've got it here already. I'm just going to load it up for us. I've seen it, a glimpse, and I don't know if you're going to be happy. I don't know if you man are going to be happy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the front for you. That don't look. God.
So let's go, man. Obviously, Alisson in goal. We've got Gomez to come in at right back. It's looking like a back four change completely. Like bar Konate. Konate is the only one that keeps his spot. It looks like he's playing on the left also. So we've got that right. In midfield, shockingly, it's Fabinho and Henderson playing with Jones that gets a call up. Now, look, I said I would have played Jones, but I'm confused because he wasn't on the bench to go and play against Man City, which is arguably one of the biggest games of the season. When you're talking about, the top teams in the Premier League, but he comes into this game and straight into the starting lineup after not even being on the bench, not even being part of the matchday squad. Then he weren't injured,
and then Ox isn't in the squad.
And Ox isn't even in the squad. I don't like this. I'm is just
my thing is. Go on, sorry, Ish. Go on.
No, I'm just gonna say it don't make sense to me, bro. I'm confused, bro. And then
I'm just more confused that
Jota on the right.
Nah, we Nunes. It looks like Nunes on the right.
No, it looks like Nunes on. It'll be Nunes on the left. It'll be Nunes on the left.
Yeah.
Be Nunes on the left.
Yeah.
Jota was the one who's played on the right before, and we haven't rated it. I know a lot of us have not liked Jota on the right. when he played there last season before.
Jota right now, left, right, center. He stinks, bro. He stinks.
But to be fair, if I'm going to be honest, I know G, you're going to go. To be honest, I think Jota was probably one of the better players in that first 20, 30 minutes of lot against City. In terms of his work rate, and you know, Klopp's he respects that, innit? Regardless of the result, the work rate, he was harrying the defenders. He actually assisted the goal for Salah as well. So
yeah,
it's gonna be jokes to see how this defense moves without Van Dijk. But what I'm finding funny is you played Fabinho and Hendo, which I feel like is a bit weird because if one of them gets an injury, brother, you've got no midfielders really and truly for that game against Arsenal.
Like, but I don't think. But I think
we can't
when
even
they're looking at it
now.
Yeah, what I would say though is when they're looking at this game, they're probably looking at Chelsea saying, where can we guarantee, or where is it more likely that we can go and obtain 3 points? Now, although we're at home, you're talking about an Arsenal team that look like they're on a roll. Now, if we get beaten by Arsenal, no one's really going to be surprised. No one's going to be like, oh my God. Whereas this game, considering the situation that Chelsea are in, I think Klopp's made these drastic changes because he knows he needs a drastic result. Because if we don't beat Chelsea, like that's essentially top 4 done. Like you can't have 2 losses on the bounce, especially against City and Chelsea. Chelsea that you're going to be one of your top 4 rivals. Arsenal that, do you know what I mean, are in and amongst the top 4. You need to go and try scrape as many points as you can from them. So for me, it's like, it makes sense. It's like, you go broke now, innit? Like, you just go for broke now because every game now we need to win. You can't think of the Arsenal game because it's not like back in seasons gone past where we were going for leagues or we're thinking, but we got the Champions League squeezed in between and which one's more important. It's like, if we lose this one, then what? It don't matter if you beat Arsenal.
Yeah, it's true.
It actually don't matter.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. I'm done anyway. But yeah, that's the lineup, people. Let me just read that. Sorry, 1 second, G. Let me just read up the subs so I can take this off. Obviously, the subs people, Kelleher, Milner, Salah, Gakpo, Robertson, Carvalho, Arthur Melo, Nathaniel Phillips, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, which means that Van Dijk and Oxlade-Chamberlain all drop out of the matchday squad.
Well, I can already see that his subs is definitely going to be Salah at some point, Gakpo at some point, Robert at some point. I can't remember the one more. Trent. Maybe. I feel like that would be like maybe depending on how it goes at right back for Gomez. But he probably preferred to keep Gomez in there, depending on if one of the centre backs are having a shit game. But yeah, I just think I don't know what Chelsea's lineup is. If they've got Havertz in there, Havertz likes to play against Liverpool, man. He likes to pick. He's a bit like, he's not like Alvarez in terms of he'll press and he'll run and everywhere, but he likes to drop in. He does like to kind of like drop in, but it's like he doesn't really get involved. But he drops in, and it's almost like our defenders never really know because then he makes these Lampard runs into the box, and then I see him getting headers all the time. I'm like, brother, like did no one watch you coming into the box? Like we just let him walk in, and he's able to just tap it in half the time. I remember we played them at home, and obviously got that offside goal kind of thing, and I felt like he could have scored prior to that as well. As Real Talking TV says, he loves a goal from a corner, especially against Liverpool. I don't know, it's weird with him. Weird, very, very weird, but. Let's see, man. Let's see. Let's see, man. I'm very intrigued to see how this game is gonna go. Very intrigued.
Yeah, man. Quick question. You see the whole Konate situation. I know we've got to play him, right? If Konate goes down in this game, God forbid, touch wood, injury, right? The only backup we've got is Nat Phillips to come in, and it's a back four of Nat Phillips and Gomez because Verge isn't on the bench. Is Verge injured? Because for me,
I don't think he'll even do that. I don't think he'll even do that. I think he'll go right back. He'll just put Gomez at centre back with Thing, and then he'll put Milner at right back. Yeah. Or Trent, like whoever, like he'll do that. Because that would make more sense anyway. I wouldn't even bring that Phillips.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, you're right. Maybe so. But what I'm looking at though is. Why has Verge not? Why for me Verge not being in the matchday squad doesn't make any sense. Like Robbo had the worst game than Verge.
They're saying he's sick. I'm sick too, bro. I'm sick too. I'm sick of his bullshit. I like it, to be fair. I actually do like it because he's got to make some sort of statement. You heard in the pre-match conference, he's saying they've been having chats all season, these little like discussion meetings. Bro, it's not working. So you need to do something to have some sort of impact. If it means dropping Salah and dropping Verge and saying, listen, Verge, you're not even coming down to London. You're not even getting the train down, bro. We need to see a reaction because the way man's defending at the moment, it's like he's not even bothered. So let's just see in it. Let's just see. He can't be doing any worse.
You know what it is as well. Could look like it's a case of he's probably looked at it as well and thought, bro, this season especially, everyone's always talking about my loyalty to certain players and all that kind of stuff. Like as Ish said as well, like he needs to do something because whatever you lot are talking about in them little crisis meetings that you're having, brother, it seems pointless. You might as well not even have a meeting because no one's listening clearly because nothing's changing. So he probably looked at it and probably did think, yeah, you know what? Out of the 3 games that we have from week to week, it seems like this was probably the easier game in terms of the team that we're facing. Obviously, Man City and Arsenal way better than us this season. So I expect losses in those. He probably thinks maybe we can pick up 3 or even get ourselves a draw against a Chelsea, but with a kind of depleted lineup. Who knows if we had drawn to Man City, would he have made this kind of lineup? Probably not. Van Dijk probably wouldn't be ill. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's one of those kind of funny things, man. But got to do something. He's got to do something.
What I wanted to say, though, is what I don't get from it, though, is if you're talking about I understand making a statement, right? But why has Verge been made as a statement when Robertson, after that performance, has still kept his place in the bench? That for me breeds that for me, like I hear a statement being made, but that type of unfair kind of decision. If I was Verge and I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, like we had a poor game as a team, but Fabinho was worse than me. Robert was terrible. Trent was terrible. Like forget like him not being at fault for the goal in terms of his positioning necessarily. How many times did he boot the ball right into the midfield? How many times did he just clear the ball into the midfield?
It's cover as well though. Like we got obviously the drop off is brazy, but we've got cover and we've got more cover in centre back than we have at a left back or a right back. Don't forget these men they're not playing either. None of them are in the starting 11. But I think for me, the biggest statement you can make, arguably even bigger than dropping Salah, is dropping Virgil, bro. He's the one that when man got injured, our season fell apart. When man was at his best, he was the best centre back of all time. That's the biggest statement you can make by dropping him. And he might not have been the worst against City, but I'm sick of seeing him more than any other player right now. And he's even just come back from injury as well. I'm already sick of seeing a side of him. The way man's defending right now, I don't want to see him. I do not want to see him in the team. I do not want to see him. So Klopp, I hope it pays off for you, but yeah, you made a big call in it. I'm kind of with it.
The thing is, I don't even think he even dropped him. I actually think that Virgil just didn't really want to play. I feel like he's just tired, bro. Like, brother is just tired. Like, I don't even think it's a case of
nah. Like, I ain't even feeling.
Yeah, you know something. Like, I don't want to go out. I'm not gonna hear that. Like, I
message come through, and you're just like, can I be bothered? Nah, bro. I'm watching EastEnders, bro. You know, like that.
Because as you rightly said, yeah. Regardless of obviously we have got that depth at centre back. I get that, but at the same time, the fact that he's not even in the squad, like we can go with the illness thing if people want to go with that, whatever. But I actually just think he's just real talking TV. I actually generally think he's just looked at it and said, yeah, you see these 3 games in the week, yeah, I might not be able to do that Chelsea one, but I'll be back for the Arsenal game kind of thing. We'll know more, obviously, if he doesn't get picked for that game. Obviously, then it's clearly something deeper. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't even think he'd want to even drop Verge, bro. Like, I feel like he wouldn't drop Verge like that. Yeah. Verge would have to have a real shitty game. And yeah.
Or quick one, because I agree with you. Is there an argument then, G, to actually say, I know you've discussed before about Verge and saying that you think he's the type of person that if he's not really feeling something, he would voice himself more so than some of the other kind of characters in the team. Is there potential that Verge has gone after the game, maybe squared up to Klopp or had a little reasoning with Klopp, and Klopp doesn't like that, and we know that historically Klopp doesn't like players that go and challenge
Sorry to cut you, JJ.
Yo.
He even said before, was it on the overlap, where he was like, he knows to talk to me a certain way, but he doesn't go too far. Remember?
Yeah, with me, yeah.
He's like, he shouts, but he don't shout too much because he knows I don't like it.
Bro, who are you?
I remember watching that. Thinking, wait, right, sorry, what? Who are you, bro? To be like, you can shout at me to a certain extent, like.
Yeah, like
listen,
Verge
I wish he had that
seem...
energy on the pitch though. Where's that energy? Where's that energy on the pitch, bro? Where is it?
Yeah, I think like
I see where the
when
arm
you
man
look at it in
sometimes
the
you're not
team,
even doing anything.
like you see like Milner. Do you think he'd be able to slap Verge the way he slapped Tsimikas as an example? Like I know I'm putting it out there. I know obviously that's a relationship between Milner and Tsimikas, some of the players, but I do think maybe this might have some rumblings on of like an actual disagreement, because this has come out of nowhere. Usually, as G said, and you made a right point, Verge, ACL, you're coming back straight away. You're playing every single game. Like, when has he ever gone and dropped the Verge? And even if he's done that, he's come on the bench and you're coming on at half time. It's been one of those things. It's never been you're out of the match day squad. And for me, that's that's why I go back to my point. It's a statement, and it's a big statement to make, of course. But is there more to it? Is there potentially you know what? He's gonna say to Klopp, this is your fault. Why did you do this? Or said something like that. You know, he's actually had I know he's had a bicker with Van Gaal before about playing three at the back, saying he don't like it. And him and Van Gaal had a disagreement.
But
has he maybe went and voiced? Yeah,
I slightly think it's easier for him to just leave him at home, you know, because imagine he because he can't start him anyway. I don't think, like, apart from Kanai, which he said none of the back four deserve to start. I think it's better to just not have him there at all than have man on the bench every 5 minutes. The camera's panning in on Virgil, and we go down. Imagine we can see from a set piece, the camera goes to Virgil. Should he come on, this, that, and the other? Realistically, if he's not starting, you're not going to bring on the centre back in it. So I just think, bro, just leave him at home in it. Let him just sit with this one, watch the game. Hopefully, there's some sort of reaction on Sunday in the Arsenal game. But for us all sitting here now, none of us are really thinking this is mad that he's not starting. I wish he was starting. This just shows what he's come to now. Like, you can't imagine Virgil 2 years ago not starting against Chelsea, whether he's played 3 games in a week or not. So this just shows the level, man. This is the level. Is that he's just not that guy anymore, isn't it? He's not that guy anymore to be the one that has to start every game. So we just have to see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm kind of at a loss of words, really and truly, when I think about this team at times, because the reality is, look at that shuffle, yeah. And I'm just like reading the team out to myself now. Like, when I'm looking at everything, I'm just like, it's like, but then you're still not even giving a game to like Arthur. You're still not giving a game to Carvalho. Like, some of it doesn't really even make that much sense, to be honest with you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. Like I said, the Fabinho Hendo thing, the fact that you're playing both of them, for me, doesn't make any real sense, because, as I said, one of them, anyone, whether it's Fab, sir.
You know, when you got a cup team it's still against a good opponent, so you don't want to take the piss too much, but you want to give man like rotation and that. That don't look like a
listen, at the end of the day, it's not me who's making 15 million a year and it's my job on the line. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go put this lineup out, lose the game, win the game, whatever you want to do, brother. Just do it. Yeah, I mean, just run it, because at the end of the day, if you don't beat Chelsea, who are sitting in, I haven't even got a clue where. Like, I'm sure they're not in the top half. I think if you don't beat them, regardless of where, like, who Chelsea are and whatever, can't beat them. Yeah, it's gonna be all crazy for you, because then what's the excuse after that? Like, we like, say we lose.
But G, the excuse is an experimental side. We made wholesale changes. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, but I know we're not going to fall for it. Lost in game.
Facts.
I know we're not going to fall for it. I know, I agree, and we're not going to fall for it. But I can see it already. It's going to be, we performed well. Verge was ill. Certain players. Watch him come out and start saying, Robbo and Trent both felt a niggle. I know I dropped them, but he's gonna spew this narrative about, not everyone had to go and keep their place, and maybe there's a couple players, but he might say Gakpo. It might be maybe Trent and Robbo are like, we dropped them because of their performance. But the Gakpo being dropped as an example, because big up to Angel 1968 as well. That's actually put that in there, and I've gone and seen it. Let me just put that up. Or did I actually mark it? Hopefully I did. Yeah, no Gakpo, and then asking, look, does anyone believe Gakpo should be dropped? That Gakpo being dropped, like, for me, I'm looking at Bobby, right? And right now, the season's done. So what he needs to be doing, in my opinion, is forget the amount of games that Gakpo's played and stuff. You need to try bed these players in. So Gakpo needs to be getting as much game time as possible, so we can become the best version of himself, wherever that is at this club. Cavallo, as you said, should be getting some game time if you want him to acclimatise to the team, or unless you think that project's done. The likes of Bobby, why is Bobby playing? Like, why Bobby's leaving at the end of the season? Surely Elliot could have come in and played then. Like, well, Elliot's not even on the bench, people.
I found that weird too.
And Elliot for me is this project that's like the team's going to essentially he's going to be one of the components that the team's built around for the future. He's played more or less every single game up to this point, or he's made an appearance in every single game. Like, how does he just go from this to like now you're getting dropped? And like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And you're playing a player that's not going to be here in 6 months. So even if you win this game, what effect does it have for the season? The season's done. But what you've done is you haven't allowed the player. Like,
I hear that. I hear that. I do think that the Elliot one's a bit weird, but I think he's featured every game this season. So also, it's man's birthday as well. Let man just enjoy his birthday. And he's like,
birthday.
He's not gonna. Bro, man's birthday.
No.
Does he deserve to celebrate anything, bro? What you say, man? Can't celebrate his birthday?
No. Not like you're getting a day off, bro. Like, not a day off.
Bro,
like,
if he's not gonna start him,
if he's not game, but you're playing the match.
Would you have started him? Would you have started him? We had him
I would have started him.
Yeah,
I would have started him.
For me, though, I like on the Bobby thing. I can see why he started. Like, he's actually one of our top goal scorers this season. I know he's leaving, but Gakpo can't start every single game between now and the end of the season. I know, and I know what you're saying about bedding him in, and I think he's had a good little chunk of games to bed him in. But, bro, I just don't think he was good against City either. Like, did he even play the full 90? I think he might have got hooked. He came on for Bobby, innit?
Yeah, as in I agree. He got hooked, right? Like, and I'm not saying he should like play the 90 minutes, but it's not like we're playing Champions League and we're playing like every two days and he's being rinsed out. Like, he's a football player at this moment in time. He needs to bed into the team. You play like Saka. When Saka was developing at Arsenal, he played every single game. They played every single game, bruv. Like, it was just like, if you were shit, if you were good, you played. And it's like, yeah, I know he was poor, but we've bought this player and he's the missing link and he's going to be the future of this team. The likes of Nunes and Gakpo and all these new players that we've got, they've got to be playing every single game. Because what we're going to be sitting here in 6 months' time now, when the season starts up, we're going to be like, but Gakpo, I mean, he still hasn't really acclimatized, and Cavallo didn't really get enough game time. And it's like, brother, you had a chance to do this.
He's not even started them together recently as well. Like, he's been starting Nunes or Gakpo. I'm like, this is meant to be two of your front three for the next 5, 6, 7 years, whatever. But bro, I hear you on that one, because it's just like, listen, the seasons, there's not really much to play for. You might as well just try and get a little something going together for next season. But I don't know about them. I don't know.
Listen, bro. Look, Klopp, like I keep saying, I don't know, man, don't stress. Klopp, do your thing, bro. It's not my job on the line, bro. You want to play Jones, then play Jones, man. You want to play Firmino, who's leaving, play Firmino. Like, your lineups are not even when you change the lineup, it's not even making sense. Like, it's just one thing after the other with this guy, man. And that's why I'm just like, I've got zero sympathy for the brother. Like, go out and win, lose, draw. I don't really care at this point. Just do whatever you're doing. But you got to back it at the end of the day. You said you came out the other day and you said that you're going to make the changes. You made the changes. So I can't moan at you for not making changes, even though some are questionable. I can't be like, oh, well, he didn't make changes. Well, he made the changes. So I'm just looking at some of the changes thinking, right, I mean, okay, I said make changes, but I didn't say be a clown. But you've done it. Just do your thing, and then we see how the game goes.
Yeah, talking of sympathy, this is G's reaction to fans that say that Klopp's their hero, and like they should have some sympathy for him.
Your superhero?
Yes.
Oh my god,
bro! Like I said, and this is why I say, like, I'm just there. I'm like, with this, the rest of this season, with the games that we've got coming up, like, I thought he was gonna play a lot differently in terms of the lineups. I mean, there's no one injured. I mean, we've got this illness thing with Van Dijk. Fair enough, cool. Then I don't expect him to see him on Sunday, or is he just gonna miraculously just be better? I don't know anymore, and that's why I'm just a little bit like, But he's done the change. He's changed the team around. So now I'm expecting those players I'm expecting him, to get a tune out of those players that he's played today. tonight, should I say? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, like I say, man, I am Jono. I hear you, bro.
Do you man actually think we'll get a reaction though? Because for me, if the squad is the
same, it will depend on how shit Chelsea are. If Chelsea are this shit, which watching them, they look. You know what it is? They don't even look shit. I just feel like they're just missing like a brother to just finish. I feel like they do all the stuff leading up to goal, but then when they get to goal, it's like, they can't.
But their patterns look nice. Like when you watch them play,
nice. Kovacic, Enzo, like
being coached. And then when they lose games, they're not getting thumped like 3-4-0 like we are. But I think most of their L's have been 1-2-0s this season. I think their goal difference is respectable. They're not, from my memory, I don't think they've been slapped up by anyone this season. So they're losing.
Who did they lose to the other day?
Aston Villa 2-0.
Villa 2-0.
But they were kind of playing on like counter attack.
They had chances, and then McGinn scored a banger. So it's not like, bro, the game on Saturday, our game on Saturday, I just kind of felt like nothing really. I didn't really feel anything. I feel like I'm used to it. We've seen this all season. That's like the 3rd or 4th time this season we've been slapped. I think it's the 9th time we've conceded 2 or more goals or 3 or more goals. It's normal to us. But Chelsea, you can see with them that they've got something going on. If they get a good manager in, like G was saying as well, a proper striker in the summer, they're going to get Osimhen. They'll be back. They'll be back. They've got quality in every other department.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jerry's got the team up or not, but I'm just looking at that.
I'm going to get, before we get the team up, I'm just going to get the super chat from Pond Elf, 2 seconds. Big up to Pond Elf for the super chat, much appreciated. Saying that lineup is pure shop window vibes. It's like a fashion show around the pool when you're on holiday and they're trying to shift some merch. Raw man saying, how many sunglasses? You know, like this sunglasses.
Bro.
Oh, Jesus.
Bro, but, it kind of is a shop window, really, if you think about it. If you think about some of the players playing. I can see that still.
G, run us through this lineup, man, because I'm not gonna lie, there's a certain the midfield looks scary.
Like I'm just looking at like how they've got it lined up here in a 3-4-2-1 formation with Kukurea, Koulibaly, and Fofana obviously as the 3, and then their wing backs Chilwell, James, 2 central midfielders in Kante and Enzo, and then 2 attacking kind of midfielders in Kovacic and Havertz behind João Felix. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, like, if they get a good manager in, I can't see why that team isn't going to start balling out at some point in time. Like, Kante, I don't know what he's on these days, to be fair, so I'll take him out. But Enzo, good player, shown he's very, very good. He can adapt to this league. He's already adapted. Kovacic, been a baller from day dot. Havertz has his days. João Felix has shown me that, he's a decent option in that false 9 or whatever you want to call it kind of position. And then you got Chilwell and James. And I think having Chilwell and James there, Gomez is going to need to kind of just be a little bit wary of Chilwell. Do you get what I'm saying? In terms of him coming forward. Chilwell loves to get in like on the end of things and try to score. I always see him in the back post trying to get a header.
He's got a goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? He's got a goal in him, like randomly. I'm like, right, okay, say no more. Like,
I wish good left foot. I had a goal in him, bro.
I wish you just had a shot on you. How about just that? I don't even need to score. Just have a shot. Like I shot a target though. Yeah,
one that just makes the keeper go, ugh, and parry it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, like something, just anything that makes me think, okay, yeah, decent. We were able to threaten. And when you look at their back three,
how many of that? Sorry, I was just quickly. How many of them man were you taking for our starting lineup? Because I'm looking like about at least 4. At least
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I take Fofana. I take Enzo. I take Kovacic. I take Felix.
James.
Yeah.
I take both their fullbacks. I take
Chilwell as well. Why am I acting like I wouldn't take Chilwell? What type of man?
João Felix, I take him. Havertz, I'll probably find this a little use for you as well.
Do you know who I take as well? Which is a bit mad, and I know he hasn't had the best season, but I think Cucurella's a baller.
But he's been stinky. I know last season he was cold, but this season,
but I think form is temporary. I think class is permanent. Do you get it? Like when I look at him, I don't look at someone that can't play ball. I just
we've seen it already. If they just signed him, imagine they just signed him from wherever. Where was he from before? Was it Espanyol or something?
Espanyol, yeah.
Imagine if he just landed from Espanyol and he's playing like this. I'll be like, nah, you look mad. But he's had a season at Brighton. He balled out last year, so I think there is a player in there But yeah, this season
different style, different tactic. I think like he will ball out.
Like when you look at him, like I don't look at him when he's playing and he's had a poor game. And I'm like, hey, brother, this brother's washed. Like when we had like Ali Sissoko, like he was washed. It was like, oh, this brother's washed. Like he can't kick ball. Or like even like Moreno, like I know going forwards he was like decent and rapid, but you knew like defensively he was all over. I don't think Cucurella's as bad like that. I think his team switched on. I think Chelsea in general have been poor. Do you know what I mean? Like they've just been poor in general. So. But yeah,
sorry, just get that lineup, Chelsea lineup again. Sorry, big up Kai by the way. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but I just wanted to see something.
On
Mendy,
the bench,
Chile, Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Madueke,
Modric.
They got
my god,
that bench is quality.
Yeah, attacking talent.
My god,
is quality, bro.
Bro, that bench is ridiculous.
Bro,
Mount
will start for us. Badiashile will start for us.
Gallagher will start for us. Loftus-Cheek will start for us.
Pulisic will start for us. Bro, Sterling is probably starting for us as well, man.
Boy, we need a right winger to play right wing today, boy.
If we don't get it done in early on, look at that bench compared to our bench. Like,
I think that's what it is. They've got game. It's just going to be interesting because obviously this new guy that they I don't know anything about him. I don't know what his type of style is, whether he's just going to follow on from Graham Potter, whether he's more of a concern. Obviously, he's not had long to really implement something. So he's going to kind of need to feed off of what they've been doing, but maybe change up every now and again. New manager bounce. We all know what that's like as well. Like, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a tough game for Liverpool. I can't even front.
Big up to Minerals, because I was going to say this. I know people are sleeping on it. For me, I got a feeling he's going to ball out. He's going to ball out every single time he plays against Liverpool. Do you know why? Because you're coming to play like you're coming to his jungle to play by his rules. Like he wants to run around and press and stuff. Like you're trying to outrun as a runner.
And so chaos. All right, cool. Yeah. It's long. It's like even games where he beat them, he still balled out.
I don't know, man. Like for any boxing fans, like do you know what I mean? Like not even. I'm going to try use football. Like, you don't want to go and, like, if you're playing, it don't matter how good you are, innit? You don't want to go to, like, tiki-taka Pep's Guardiola's Barca and try play tiki-taka against them. Like, you're gonna lose. You got to do another you got to run another marathon. You got to go the long way around. You can't try to say, yeah, we're going to try and out football you. It just doesn't work like that. And that's what we do with Kante. Every game that he plays, every game that we play there, we try to outrun him and try press him. And he's like, brother, like, I can do this at like 40, bruv. I'm still going to be better than you. Like, and the maddest thing is that, like, I know he's injury prone, but he's not poor though. He's not a poor player.
It's a weird one.
I think he still gets into our team. That's the scary thing about it. He still gets into our team.
You know what we're seeing from Fabinho tonight? You know that when he turns around, he looks like he's about to fall over, bruv. Kante's still running under his arms and that.
Yeah. Limbs. Look at that inflatable thing. You know the inflatable thing.
It's crazy, bruv. Crazy.
The man you see on the side of the road on the
the car wash thing like this.
I think like us today, we gotta play quick today, man. Because if you don't play quick, it's a bit like playing against Man City in terms of they all like to try and keep the ball, pass the ball, move the ball around. You know what I mean? They're gonna have their runners kind of thing in terms of Kai Havertz obviously making those late runs into the box. We're gonna need to watch that. I don't know whose job that is, but someone's got to do that. It's going to be interesting. Like I'm very interested now seeing both lineups to see how this kind of works, because Chelsea are either going to slap our City or it's going to just be a very tight one.
And what worries me as well is that Liverpool always struggle against teams that are fluid in terms of how they move. Yeah. Especially this season. So City, as an example, I went back and just obviously tried to watch a bit of the game. Them not having Haaland actually helped them a lot. When I think about it, it's probably their best performance of the season. In terms of everyone was fluid. We spoke about it yesterday. Alvarez was on the left. Konate was having to rush out. You saw like we can get the goal up again. Like our back line ended up looking like this against City. Do you know what I mean? Because of the fluid movement. Like think about it. Alvarez is there. You've got Gundogan there. Grealish. Like everyone was moved about. It's just mad fluid. They're going to be just as fluid because they haven't got a number 10. I don't know. But because obviously we've got obviously they haven't got a striker. Yes, I know they might not go and score, but they just might have a game that clicks, and Havertz always actually performs decent against Liverpool, and Sterling might turn up, and all this fluid movement, that's what's going to bamboozle the likes of Matip and Gomez and all these types of players, because they're not naturally inclined to go and play this type of, like, even Fabinho, they're not inclined enough, or they don't understand. Oh, you know what? We've got to have discipline in the way we play, because they've always been taught you just press what you see, and that's not actually hurting us. I'm going to go and actually look at this. I think it's this one here, right? Yeah. So obviously Fabinho is to the left of the ref in the center of the pitch, right? Fabinho should have actually been there. So as soon as that ball goes into De Bruyne, he needs to be stopping that ball going into and covering that passing lane. Because he hasn't done that, it ends up with obviously Gundogan getting the ball, and you can see here he's going to get the ball and play the pass. Obviously here he plays the pass into thing. Fabinho's nowhere near Gundogan, but that's Fabinho's fault. Now, when you've got the likes of Havertz, and you're going to have Kovacic, and you're going to have Kante that's going to be making runs in behind as well, I actually don't know if Fabinho can handle that, because tactically, it's not even movement. Tactically, we're not set up like that. We're not set up to even counter that.
And that's the thing, that this is where I say Klopp hasn't helped some of these players in terms of noticing that their form kind of a little bit off. I do think that sometimes as a manager, you look at Modric, you look at Cruz, your Pirlos, Javis, like these ballers that we remember from time. Bro, the manager, not just them, obviously not just the player themselves because they knew, but the manager also, remember, has to then tweak a tactic a little bit. He's got to tweak, the positioning of the player and how much they're actually doing, during a game, how much they're going to get on the ball, how much they're going to run. Do you think Modric playing under Harry Redknapp is the same Modric that's going to be playing under flipping Carlo Ancelotti? No way, he's not running like that. Modric, I remember, used to be kind of box to box and getting himself goals and do. This Modric now, just a controller. Because Ancelotti can see that, you know what, you're 35, you ain't running around like that, and you don't even need to expand that kind of energy anyway, because we've got other players to do that in the team. What you're good at is picking the ball up, seeing something, boom, 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 boom. I feel like, you could have helped Fabinho a little bit and said, maybe I put a bit more protection around you. Maybe, I don't know, like maybe there's a bit more protection in what we do when maybe you go 4-1-4-1. I don't know, but something needs to change in the kind of position, because you're right. Look, as I said there, like that pass that De Bruyne is going to do now to Mahrez, that pass he's going to do, brother. That pass, it's Robbo cool, whatever. But then, as you said, look at the middle, bro. Like, Elliot, are you even watching the game? Fabinho, where are you? Hendo, why are you even standing there in the first place? Because you wasn't even doing anything. You were just. It seems like you were just there to be like, well, I was here to maybe just in case. No, I don't want to hear that. Modric is 37. Sorry, I didn't even. There you go. But it's like, why are you in these kind of positions? But remember, the managers told you to be in these positions, bro. When they got the ball this side, I want you here, standing on here to cut out this, that, and the third. And Man City moved in like 4 passes. It was embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, and the thing is this is the problem. This is the problem, right? So the whole game, I haven't got this still, but I saw it on Monday Night Football. I actually urge everyone to go and watch it. So we tried to combat them with a box, and you can kind of see it. You have obviously Salah at the top of the picture. The bottom left, you've got Jota. You've got Gakpo there as well. Obviously, Jota's out there, but then you've got obviously the box, which is Salah, Gakpo, Henderson. That's obviously over there, and Fabinho. Now, what's happened is that Henderson, he's followed De Bruyne, so they were told to not allow De Bruyne and Gundogan to get on the ball, not allow Stones, Rodri, or Gundogan, De Bruyne to try and get the ball. So you try and match them 4-4-4.
But that's bare man to not get on the ball.
No, but I know, but it's mad. But what they did, if you watched it, they allowed the 3 at the back to have the ball. So Akanji, Ake, and Diaz, they allowed them to be on the ball. They obviously Salah. The reason why he started up top, and I thought we were playing a 4-2-3-1. We kind of were, but it was more of a 4-4-2 because it was Salah and Gakpo that were standing, they were blocking the passing lane into Rodri and Stones. So obviously Henderson and Fabinho behind them will be telling them shift left, shift right. He's on your right shoulder, he's on your left shoulder. So they're screening that ball, and their job was to go and marshal De Bruyne and Gundogan when they're moving about, and marshal them and kind of not allow them to get into that space that Gundogan ends up in. Fabinho, what he's done is he's seen that Rodri has gone in behind Salah, right? So he's in between Salah and himself, and he's gone and ran out. And in this clip, you see he sprints out to to Rodri, and that actually triggers De Bruyne to do that thing that you were talking about, where he pointed to, where he checked over his shoulder, made sure that Gundogan was in space, made sure that he knew Hendo was coming, and then when he saw Gundogan come into space, he pointed at Mahrez and was like, "Yeah, move into that space," because he knew once Mahrez gets the ball, Mahrez's first pass is going to be inside into Gundogan, and that's what happened. You go down a couple steps more, and you see that pass comes into Mahrez. Look, you've got Alvarez is going to pull Konate away. And who's in that number 10 spot? Gundogan. Where's our midfield? It's that easy. It's that easy.
But in one pass, let's say in two passes, yeah, somehow we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think there's a sixth person behind the halfway line. Behind the halfway line. Like, how is there, bro? There's only 11 men on the pitch, and one of them's the goalkeeper. How is there 6 men behind the halfway line in an attack? And it wasn't a counter attack. I don't really even understand. It's not like we were being countered and they were doing it. No, this was just normal possessional play, patterns of play, passages of play, whatever you want to flip and call it. And somehow we've got 5, 6 men behind the line. Again, Klopp comes up against Master sometimes. And you know what? Before, sometimes the intensity might just work. You know when someone's just crazy? It's like we were talking the other day about going up against a guy who's going to fight you naked. I feel like that's what Klopp used to be on. He was just on that, bruv. Because you're doing something so mad, I'm not even on what you're on. So you know what? Do your thing. Now they're asking you to both fight with your fist. You can't fight. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't know how to fight. And now look, you know what I'm saying? You're getting right. And the thing is, it's not just Pep. Forget Pep. You know what I'm saying? Pep's Pep. Like, I expect you to lose those kind of tactical battles. That's fine. But I'm talking Thomas Frank. I'm talking De Zerbi. I'm talking Fulham manager. I'm talking Wolves manager. Like,
brother, Steve Cooper
know how to. Steve, yeah, like these teams seem to know where as soon as you come up against, I feel like playing against Liverpool is very easy in terms of knowing what to do to stop them. The difference was obviously back then was that we were such in our pomp that these teams, I just don't think they had enough quality to be able to do that. Bearing in mind, I don't even think the quality's gone up that massively. And as soon as the quality's gone up a little bit, it's like, yo, all of a sudden, these teams know that, we just need to notify this guy. We just need to make sure that we bypass, let's say the centre-back gets the ball, like Cucurella might get the ball. I can't remember who's playing on the right, but let's say it's Jota there. As long as we bypass Jota, he's out of the game anyway, because he's going to press and try and get the ball here. So guess what? We just need to bypass him. We're already onto the fullback. And you're just like, well, brother, like, play. I keep saying play a different way, but it's just falling on deaf ears. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
That for me, what it is that's the problem. It's the fact that Jota, obviously, doing that situation and knowing that it's going to be a Joao Felix, a Kai Havertz. It's going to be still ballers that can go manipulate areas and manipulate the ball. If anything, if you're talking about these players, they might not be prolific, they might not be strong, but that's the one thing that they're good at. They're in the mold of your Ozils and your those types of players, but notice that are going to float into areas and pick up pockets that your centre back's not going to know. Do I press up on him? If I press up on him, I leave the gap in behind myself. Does my midfielder stay with him, or does he go out and press the guy that's on the ball? We had the same situation with Real Madrid. There was bare times that Camavinga's on the ball, and it's like, Fabinho don't know, do I go and press the ball, or do I drop off? Or because if I drop off, then Valverde free. And brother, right now, Klopp ain't got the answers. So, yeah, man. I'm going to get into some of the comments. Big up to everyone in the building. We've got 80 people in the building. Make sure we're please smashing the like. We're on 46 likes. Can we get to 70 likes if possible? That would be much, much, much appreciated.
Smash them, people.
Smash the likes. Don't be a cheat. Don't be a geek. Don't be a neek. Please make sure we're smashing the like. We've got Ram in the building saying, I hope for a 4-2-2-2 or a diamond, but no, it's a front three again. Come on, man. Come on, Ram. Come on, man. Like, you're better than this. You bet. You know Klopp. You know your Germans. Do they ever change? Do Germans ever change? Yeah, come on, man. We've got Real Talking TV, Chris Mack saying Jota is now 28 games without a goal. Just let that sink in.
I actually think it's 30. I don't think it's even 28.
It's nearly a year. It's a year next week.
No, but it is a year. Is like a year. You're talking about a season. It's going to be like 38 games, bro. 38 games without a goal. That's shocking, bro. That's absolutely...
Let's not forget either. He was never this mad creative player who was bringing other players into the team.
It was goals,
man. It was goals, back post headers, tap-ins. So when you lose that, what's man doing at the moment? Even his assist on the weekend was a bit fugazi, bruv. Like, this
Do you
guy.
know what it is? It's like you had if you in a gang or whatever, yeah, you had one brother just responsible for one thing and one thing only. You can't trust him with, making any business moves, anything, but he's just a muscle in the gang. Once he can't be the muscle anymore, bruv, you're useless. You're actually useless. Right now, he's useless. He's actually useless. Angel 96 saying obviously no Gakpo. We read that out already. Nunes right wing. KLFC ain't feeling it. He's saying it's cold. I think Jota's on the right wing, but hey, I guess we'll have to wait and see. The Cop South Africa, big up to yourself, saying I'm tired. Klopp out. G, that put a smile on G's face. I know. G, just let us know what's going on with the banner.
The banner's already there, bro. So you got to pick the right time for these kind of things. You know what I mean? There'll be a right time. When the right time comes, you'll know. Trust me.
Because I know I saw the video of you.
If you lose the Arsenal at home, it's the right time.
Yeah, I saw.
I wouldn't even say losing to Arsenal would even be the one. But don't worry, I've got a game in mind where you lose that game, you're just like, yeah, brother, you definitely need to bounce now.
And I think
remember, it's got to fly over Anfield.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw images of you, obviously over the weekend, just pressing the last exclamation mark on whatever you got. Do you know what I mean? Hand pressed. This is a hand pressed banner, people. So,
guys, if you want to set up a GoFundMe page, you know what I mean? I'll set one up. You know what I mean? We'll get that pattern, bro. If them lot can do the FSG, why can't I do Club out? I want my voice heard too, you know.
Yeah, it's true. what Kurdish and them man aren't ripping your voice?
Nah, man. Them not talking about FSG. I'm like, bro, that's boring now, man. I don't care about them anymore. I'm caring about Klopp now. I want my voice heard too.
I hear you.
Hear me, guys. Hear me. Let me talk.
Quick one as well, yeah. Just on that, if Klopp loses like this game, and then we lose against Arsenal, that's what 4 wins on the back, 4 losses in the Prem.
Yeah, in a row.
Did we lose before Man City?
Yeah,
Bournemouth.
Oh.
Well, no.
I'm not keeping up with the losses, bro.
We lost against Real Madrid. It'll be 5 because we lost against
Real Madrid. 5 L's in a row, that's a sackable offense.
That's a sacking. That's a sackable offense.
But the man will tell you, yeah, as long as Klopp gets new players, bro, he'll be all right. Let him do the rebuild and all of that. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like,
regardless.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense in a sense anyway, just because at the end of the day, I don't think it'll make zero difference bringing a new manager in now anyway, because, I mean, I don't really see much difference. It would have to be like the summer, to be honest. Like, you had your period of time where I thought, sack him now, a new manager coming in can at least see what's there, Carvalho's, people like that, just to see what he can do in your tactic, in your style. Now we've got like 10, 11 games. Carvalho's not going to play. Forget it. But now I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, bro, any other club in the world, and Klopp said it in the interview, bro. Anywhere, he knows, bro. And this is, I keep trying to show people, bro, he knows that he's fucking up right now. But we are so content in saying FSG. And I'm like, bro, like, at some point, man, you can't keep blaming your mum because you haven't got this, that, and the third. Sometimes you just got to take that responsibility yourself. Come on, man.
Yeah, facts. You got recency bias radio saying top 4 already done, in my opinion. United lost to Newcastle on purpose to keep us out.
Yeah, for real.
Mark A saying no Elliot in the squad. Yeah, we chopped up already. Big up to yourself, Mark A. We got Violent Clown saying, Jota's been so dead this season. Kind of think he should have been sold. Thought he's a gunman. The bum ain't scored in 28 games. Apparently he's 30. Real Talking TV saying Ox got dropped from the midfield because he scored and shot from outside the box. LOL.
Probably, boy.
Yeah, Klopp hates that.
I was like, what are you doing, bro?
We don't do that.
Scheisse. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Max Mugo saying Kante, Kovacic, Enzo. Man, we are getting slapped so bad.
The technical ability in that midfield is mad.
But this is what I'm saying. How can a team at that level have a better midfield than us and be so bad still? That's what's scary.
It's going to be really jokes scary if they go on a mad run between now and the end of the season. Because then I'll be like, yeah, you weren't ready for this, my guy. You definitely weren't ready for this.
Mark is saying illness, but that's an excuse. That was in regards to Verge. We've got Angel at 68 saying, why is Bobby playing? He is leaving. Yeah. Big up to Pondo for the super chat again. Real Talking TV saying Virgil van Dijk is in Dortmund taking Jude out for a grill.
It's like Virgil just become the agent. Like,
listen, if I hear Bellingham's being groomed again by Virgil or something in the summer, I'll be embarrassed, bro. I swear to God, I'm selling all my Virgil tops. Any top that's got Virgil on the back will have to be shot, bro. G, do you want it? Would you like it?
Like I was just about to say, boy, you're the one walking around with next man on your back, boy. So that's kind of peak as it is. You're already in muggy waters as it is, bro. So you might want to just get rid of that. But that'll be jokes though if you see like Verge is just out in Germany for some weird reason. Because then he'll be like, I thought you was ill. First of all, are you allowed to fly when you're ill? Secondly, why are you in Germany? Like that, it will just be jokes. Like, Liverpool.
Recency bias saying, to be fair, Virgil changed Klopp's legacy at Liverpool. As soon as he showed up, LOL, don't blame him. That's what I'm saying. Like, if anyone can chat to Klopp, it's probably Virg. When you think about it, if anyone can chat to Klopp, he's the one that changed everything.
Not this season though, bruv. The juice is running out. Bro.
Listen,
you got to shake the card. Yeah, you got to shake the card and see if there's any juice left, bro. He's running on empty. Listen, I can't hear that anymore.
If Klopp is credit in the bank, yeah, if he's Mr. Credit in the bank himself, he can't chat to Virg about anything about credit. Anything. If Klopp is saying that I've only got this job, I'm only still in the job because of what I've done in the past, I'm sorry. I think Virg can say to him, brother, you wouldn't have done anything without me. Shut up, take Kula for a meal. Do you know what I mean? I'm taking a day off. Have to firm it.
Virgil van Dijk, you know. How someone be so poor, like, honestly, bro, looking at this.
Right, you sounded like the biggest uncle there, you know. You went, hey, Virgil van Dijk.
It's just like, bro, like, I just don't really understand. Hey. Bro, like, you know when I just don't understand, like,
he fell off, bro. He fell off.
But the thing is, but I'm getting to the point where is it even like obviously we'll know next season whether these like bounce back, but I just don't really understand because there's bag of men who are underperforming. So I can't even. Part of me doesn't even think it's a fall off. I actually just think maybe potentially if they were to play a different way and they played under a different manager, I don't think you'll be seeing this level of a drop off. I still think you'll see a drop off, but brother, come on, man, we're 8th. Like, surely, like, Man City, who are supposedly worse off this season, man, are sitting all 5 points behind second place, like first place. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense, bro. That's the bit that's confusing me. And people keep comparing us to Chelsea because we played bare games and they played bare games, obviously getting to the final and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, brother, are we competing with Chelsea or Man City? Because to me, Chelsea were down here. Man City was the one that we was trying to chase. So if we're now chasing Chelsea, too many narratives are just changing. We're hearing too many excuses, bro. Like, I'm so bored. Honestly, I'm so bored.
I hear you, man. We got John saying VVD should have never got the amount of games. I mean, he got when he came back from the ACL way too soon. I agree. Pablo saying the Klopp era was overrated and a failure.
Right,
you know what?
To the top, they'll slice your throat, bro.
Man said this. Man said he started.
You don't even want that problem, Pablo. Hey.
Yes, man. It's bad how people do that like it's gonna save them. You know when it's done, like they don't even go like it's just they grab their neck and it's just pouring out of their hands. It's like,
you know, it's just it's that human reaction, that instant reaction, thinking, oh, let me close it. These times, like, bro, you're dying anyway, so you're quicker to just die rather than trying to close it. You probably choke even more. So you're kind of pointless.
And then like this, and it's just seeping out of your hands. Like it's just, do you know what I mean? Now your gums are wet as well, bro. Do you know what I mean?
I said that your gums, like, man was thinking about that while I'm dying. Yo. That's fucking joke. I said that's the first thing on my thought. Hey, yo, man, I know I'm dying, but I can't have my new Nikes all wet, red.
I find that so funny in films when a man goes and it's just seeping out of their hands. I'm like, brother, like. Now you've just created a worse murder scene, bro. You know, like that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You're just making bare mess, bro. Someone's got to clean this, you know. So that's all you consider it. Bro.
Oh man. Yeah, cool. We're gonna wrap up in a bit. I'm John saying Klopp needs to explain this Arthur signing. What the hell was the point? Facts. Angel Nat 68 saying Milner got in VVD's face at Man United last season. Yeah, and Virgil like snapped back at him. He weren't cowering. Virgil weren't cowering. Virgil weren't going, oh, sorry, just allowing man to step into man's face. Like, I think the question is to ask, gee, how would you react if Milner stepped in your face? What the fuck are you doing, lad?
Nah, you see all of that kind of church, I'll probably just start busting up. I'm like, bro, don't shout at me.
Yeah, but what if he slaps you? What if he slaps you then? Like he done Simicast?
What did he do to Simicast? What did he do?
When we slapped him, bro.
In the face?
Him. Yes.
Yeah, see, but now we're doing a Lee Bowyer. Now we're doing a Lee Bowyer, Kieran Dyer type of situation. But now we're fighting on the bit. 100%. But I guess with certain players, you know what I mean? Like man wouldn't slap Balotelli because bro, he's all fighting man at the training ground just off a tackle. So you already know you try to slap him in the face all long. It's all long.
Facts. Recency saying I'm eager to see if we create more chances without Mo, because oftentimes Mo hold on to the ball too long and waste counters. It'll be interesting if we have that Haaland impact where we come in and it's like everyone else has got to step up, because you know when you see a talisman, sometimes you take the easy route and you're like, I just give him the ball, innit? Give him the ball, like he's gonna score the goal. Whereas when he's not always there, maybe a Nunes takes the onus on himself and is like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna do my thing. And I always, even when you look back to like Origi, and I know that's your favorite player, Origi always actually performed better when he wasn't playing with a Salah and stuff. Was when he was playing like by himself. And I know it was obviously the type of games he was playing in as well was against like Shropshire United and Fleetwood,
Everton,
like Athletic, you know, them dumb teams. Like I've made those teams up as well. But you know that those stats are better. But he was always performing better because it's like, all right, cool, this is my gap. I get to step up. So we'll have to wait and see. We've got Kai saying we are getting smoked. Look at that midfield. We've got Carp saying, oh my days, we're getting cooked. Curtis Jones needs to have the game of his life. Facts. Our coaching staff had months to work with Melo and Carvalho, yet they can't play. It's ridiculous. That's true. We got Ottoman Turk saying, panel, great show, guys. Big up to Ottoman Turk as well. And RJ saying, Klopp's excuse, new manager didn't know how to prepare for the game, so it made it awkward. Watch Klopp say something like that. Like they had a new manager, so we didn't know how they were going to set up. So like it took us by surprise. Oh, Jesus. Ed, exactly.
So
see what I'm talking about? See, getting blood on my Amiris, you know, like that. And you're like, my Amiris.
Bro,
like, you're better off just holding your top up like that. You're better off just holding your top up.
Real talk. Just get one thing mash up, then at least you know you're good regardless.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, man. Quick one before we head out. A big up to everyone in the building. Make sure we're smashing a like. I know the game's about to start in 3 minutes. But the big question is, and I want the rest of you, everyone else that's in the chat, please slap your predictions in the chat. G, what are you saying, man?
2-1 Chelsea. What are you saying?
I'm saying 1-0 Chelsea. I'm saying 1-0 Chelsea. I don't think they score enough goals, but I don't think we're gonna be potent enough. I might be wrong. But you just never know. But I think it's gonna be a 1-0. I think it's gonna be a 1-0. Her Real Talking TV say, has Ish gone to find the stream to watch? Nah, Ish had to go quickly though, just a little emergency around the back, so he's headed off. We actually don't know his
what channel is the game on?
Sky.
Oh, it's on Sky. I didn't know.
Sky. But yeah, we got Trudon saying 1-1. Big up to Trudon in the building. We got our Real Talk saying 2-1. Who's 2-1 to? I guess Chelsea. 1-1 going to be a class mid-off. We got Amjono with 2-2. Big up to Amjono. I hope you're doing well. We got Kai with 0-0. Max saying 3-3.
I mean, it does kind of have draw written all over it, to be fair. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, and recency bias saying Prickford is mediocre, not Ali. Learn to read. Real Talk, so obviously saying, I hope Jones has a good game tonight. We've got Chainsaw saying 4-2 Liverpool. And Anfield Road saying 3-1 Chelsea as well. But yeah, so that's obviously the preview, people. Yeah, make sure you're checking us out after the game, because I'm going to have my instant reaction dropping straight away. I'm not sure if G's available. If he is, he's going to be in the building also. Obviously, we're going to be chopping up the game and seeing where we went wrong or what we did well. I guess, as we like to say, I guess you never walk alone. Verge is probably walking alone or watching the game alone because he hasn't travelled. So as an Elliot, but Hey, man, until next time, see you on the other side. It's been the Jerry James Show, and we're out, people.
Peace.